Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the unfortunate state of TF2 and the Lagbot incident. If you've been following anything TF2 related on Twitter or Reddit, you may have heard of the crisis that TF2 was going through. Simply put, a Lagbot crisis. Team Fortress 2 has always had its fair share of hackers and bots. Generally speaking, you could come across a hacker and some edgelords and that was enough to get you pissed off at the game and it could ruin a game or two. But you could still join another game and just play like normal. Hackers never made the game completely unplayable and inaccessible. However, as of March 2020, there's been a new development in TF2's bot scene: Lagbots. The issue isn't that there was just one Lagbot single-handedly going around to every TF2 server and crashing each one. No, I wish that was the case, but unfortunately the issue was the number of bots that were doing exactly that. And for the duration of that week, TF2 was completely unplayable. No matter what server you joined, you'd be lucky to even get a few seconds of proper gameplay. The good news is that it has been fixed on the 8th of April, along with some localization files, of course. I mean, it's Valve. And it only took them roughly 7 days to fix the issue, proving that Valve will still step in if the game has an extremely huge game-breaking flaw. So how did this all happen? Let's take a look. So for those of you who are not familiar with the concept of Lagbots or DDOSing, allow me to quickly explain. DDoS or DDoS is an acronym for Distributed Denial of Service. It's a method people or hackers use to disrupt servers by basically overwhelming the target with a flood of internet traffic. These servers could range from large websites to individual people and of course, game servers. So how are players DDoSing TF2 servers? Well, as you may have seen in casual games, a bot or Lagbot in this case will join the server and begin overwhelming it by requesting for large amounts of data packets, causing everyone in the server to lag and eventually crashing it.
Give me packets.
No way.
Where the fuck are my packets?
No packets
I want data.
for you.
Give me that sexy.
Will fuck I am feeling overwhelmed. Shutting down.
Now, it's one thing to have one person single-handedly DDoSing servers, but in this case, we have a group of people who have programmed multiple bots to go server hopping and crashing each server the bots join into. There's a rough estimate of 10 to 20 people that were organizing the 80 Lagbots, all of which I won't name. The interesting part is that people have found one of the people behind all of this. How do they know this? Because the bots literally say my main with the link to his profile attached. So most likely, he just wanted attention, and I don't think showing any of their profiles would be productive at all. There was some speculation as to why the bots were created. Some people said that it was to make Valve notice the game, which to be fair, it did. Some said it was to make them work on the game again, more debatable. And some people believe that he was just doing it to get attention and ruin the fun for others, which, with all the evidence, is kind of true. Everyone is pretty afraid of what's coming next. Even though I don't play TF2 as often, and I've accepted it as a game that may never fully recover, I'm really afraid. This could be the end game. And that's something that I want to briefly discuss in today's video as well. What are some of the possible actions that Valve could take in the near future? The first and most obvious choice is to patch the game and of course, maybe take this as a sign that some things still need fixing and optimization. Unfortunately, Valve just doesn't like TF2. It's like a neglected child and unfortunately, it's something we as a community just have to accept at this point. When researching Valve's history with DDoS attacks, I came across this article from roughly a year ago from PCGamesN.com. DDoS attacks are gonna happen, according to Valve. However, it goes on to state that thankfully, Valve has plenty of tricks up its sleeve on that front, including the ability to hide IP addresses and reroute traffic in the event of an attack. Which, I mean, sure. Either way, it is clear that Valve recognizes the threat and has made some efforts to mitigate Lagbots, but clearly, their systems are not foolproof. There's also been a much more recent article from PCGamer.com where Aggro of Kurtzcast, hey man, states that I think the general mood in the community is that Valve will eventually take legal action and patch the netcode, but it may be too late for a game that's already struggling to stay relevant. And Aggro is right. Valve did take legal action and did patch the netcode, but the real issue is the scar that it leaves. It may be too late for a game that's already struggling to stay relevant. That is something really scary to think about. Even though Valve did fix the issue that made TF2 completely unplayable, the game is still in shambles. It is still a broken game. And if they don't fix all the other issues, TF2 may struggle to stay relevant, and at some point, TF2 may just disappear altogether. Probably something that has been on everyone's mind is also the possibility that TF2 is simply abandoned by Valve. Valve could very easily look at the current situation and believe that the time and money that would be spent fixing TF2's other problems would completely outweigh the benefits of using those same resources and time elsewhere. They may have chosen to quickly fix the Lagbot crisis, to quickly revert things back to the way they were, and just treat it as damage control. No company ever wants negative press that makes them look incompetent, especially with the whole world on lockdown. Valve needs to be more careful than ever. If Valve does not see any substantial financial gain from TF2, there would be no real reason for them to continue updating the game, especially when people are making it harder for them to keep running their services. They could very easily patch the game, look away, and continue acting like TF2 never existed. Another rare possibility that TF2 fans may have to consider is the possibility that Valve just straight up kills TF2. I know, it's a little bit dramatic, but hear me out. Instead of just leaving TF2 in a state of purgatory, maybe Valve could finally just choose to pull TF2's life support. These Lagbots could prove to be the final straw for Valve. Maybe they finally see no use in updating the game or investing in public servers, and announces that the game will no longer be run on Valve servers. Again, there's a very low chance that this will happen, but to be honest, I feel like this could be the moment where Valve as a corporation just doesn't see TF2 as a viable game to keep supporting. Valve has done a really good job of dragging us along and giving us little treats to keep us invested, and I feel like this is a time where they drop it all and say their goodbyes. They've yet to give a major update for a very long time, and they're making the move to VR hardware, and their other games like Dota 2 and CSGO have seen far more success with generating revenue via large competitions, and have also seen far better player numbers overall. One thing we should keep in mind though is that history repeats itself, and one game that has been in the same boat as us for a long time is Left 4 Dead 2. Valve servers are still running for the game, and little tiny updates are still being made for the game to this day. Then you have the community who is painstakingly making new content, hosting the servers, and keeping the game alive, even if Valve have technically abandoned the game. And even after 10 years, Valve still won't officially kill the game. So I don't know, that kind of looks really similar to what we're dealing with. So being reasonable, we should have nothing to worry about, except the fact that Valve will probably never give another major update to the game. So let's be practical. What can we do as a community, as longtime fans of the game? Of course, the most logical and helpful thing to do is to always raise awareness whenever a new issue pops up. Make sure Valve knows of what's happening and ensure that they take action. The most we can do at any time is just tell them, wait, and hope. A lot of hoping. That's just how it is being a TF2 fan. It's a lot of hoping and it's a lot of pain. In terms of updates, we've done everything that we could. We've organized our own competitive tournaments, we made our own updates, we made our own hats, we've even made our own game modes. Honestly, we've been doing their jobs for them for a very long time, and that's something that we've gotten used to as a community. And that's kind of depressing to think about, that the developers don't even care about the game enough that we have to do their jobs for them. It's hard. As a person who's made a lot of friends along the way, content creators, SFM makers, animators, poster creators, just people that play the game in general, everyone that I've met along the way, they're all so cool and so awesome, and I love all the interactions I've had with all of you. And so I just wish all of you the best. You guys are genuinely another family to me, and families stick together. It's hard to watch the family disintegrate and slowly lose morale and start to get stressed out over little things that Valve does as a company. That's all I want to say. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me this far. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. You know? Oh my god, bro! That was such a good take as well. My friend called me. Oh. Man. Thing that as a community we've grown up to learn about. Oh my god, I messed up my flow. Honestly, we've been doing their jobs. So this what? No.